Good morning. If you will, join with me in the lighting of the chalice. The words are in your order of service. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together.
And as the chalice is lit and as the music is played, please use this time to quiet your hearts and quiet your spirits, that we might be able to gather here together in significance. Thank you. Charlie Tyler. I'm the pastoral minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Low Country. It's my privilege to be able to welcome you into this place, that we might be able to, hang on a second, we're learning new things up here.
Turn up the microphone.
Low battery. Are we good to go? Thank you so much, Brian. We're all on a learning thing here. It's the summer, so we're going to work on stuff. Those of you who are guests and visitors, thank you for making your way into this place. It's our privilege to have you here, to take a risk to come here and to be able to find something that perhaps is unusual and different for you. One of the things we like to do is ask those of you who are first or second time visitors to stand where you are, if you're willing, and give us your name and tell us a little bit about where you're from, because sometimes there's people from there too that's in the room, and so there's new friends in here. So I'm going to look to my far right section, your left. Is there anybody that would be willing to stand and give us your name? In the center section, guests or visitors, first or second time, would you please stand? And on my far left, your right, first or second time visitors, a couple in the back, if you would please.
We are from California, and
Nevada City, California, which is not in Nevada, it's in California.
and we're just here visiting our friends, and I've never been to anything like this before.
Thank you for coming and taking a dare. You're with good people over there, so yeah. No one will hurt you while you're here today. Thanks, David. Young lady, yes ma'am, if you would please. Welcome. Thank you. Yes ma'am.
I'm Rose McGee, my first time here. I'm a neighbor of Bill and Fran.
Thank you, Rose. Good to see you again. While we're talking about names, Linda Warnock and Larry Myers, we have your gold badges here. They're beginning to tarnish. If you would, please. Thank you. That's for him, for you. Thank you. And I'm secretly hoping that Linda Warnock is related to my senator over Georgia. I don't know if I can quite make that claim, but I'm rooting for him. Other announcements that I want to bring to your attention, there may be some that I forget. Please feel free to interrupt me. This coming, you'll see the note in your bulletin, save the date to join us here at the church for a fun evening of Bunco, B-U-N-C-O, if you've never played before. There will be highly trained Bunco experts that will take you through the training session. Guidance is provided. We'll be here at the church. This is July 19th from 7 to 9 o'clock, and I think you guys will have a good time with them. You will also see our themes for July and the speakers that we have coming to us, and I'm looking very much forward to having each one of them here. Movie night is on July 2nd. And the movie that has been chosen is Searching for Sugar Man. The sign up is in the back, and we really would encourage you, if you'd like to come, to sign up. If you don't but still want to come, just be rebellious and come anyway. That's who we are. It's a part of our nature. But we would like to be able to gather together around the meaning behind that and discuss that movie. You'll have the opportunity to watch it at home and then come and bring your thoughts here to this place. What else have I forgotten? Anything else? It's my pleasure to invite Clint Tawes back into our pulpit. Many of you know him and understand his capabilities and the strengths that he has, and I hope that he might be able to bring us an opening word that would begin to speak to us personally. Clint, if you would, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So great to be here with you on this final Sunday of Pride Month, again this year. I'm a little sad that June is coming to an end, but the celebration of Pride does not stop just because the parade ends. And some of the most meaningful reminders of what Pride is all about don't happen at a rally or on a stage, but in random encounters. This month, while I've been off from teaching, I've been driving for Lyft and Uber a little. Last week, I picked up two older gentlemen in downtown Charleston. As they got into the car, one of the gentlemen noticed my rainbow watch band, and he wished me a happy Pride Month. As we rode along, we began talking, and he shared a remarkable story. He told me that back in June of 1968, when he was just 20 years old, he happened to be in New York City. One evening, while exploring Greenwich Village, he wandered into a gay bar, expecting a typical evening of laughing with strangers over drinks. He did not expect to be a part of history, but that's exactly what happened that night when the police raided Stonewall Inn. And that night, June 28, 1968, was the night the first sparks of the modern LGBTQ rights movement were lit. He hadn't gone there to make history. He just showed up. And yet, there he was, part of something that would change the world. That moment has stayed with me, because it's a reminder that Pride didn't begin with rainbow flags and parades. It began with people, real people, living their lives, taking risks, standing up, or simply showing up, and refusing to be erased. 10 years after Stonewall, artist and activist Gilbert Baker was asked to design a flag for the LGBTQ community. What he created was more than just a symbol. It was a message to the world. We are here, we are whole, we are worthy. Each color in the six-striped flag had a meaning. Red for life, orange for healing, yellow for sunlight, green for nature, blue for harmony, and violet for spirit. Gilbert's original design also included two more colors. Turquoise stood for magic and art, and hot pink, yes, hot pink, stood for sex. I love that the color chosen for sex wasn't just pink, but hot pink. I'll let you draw your own conclusions about what that says. But let's just say the flag wasn't trying to be subtle. It was bold, it was honest, and it was proud. Because from the beginning, Pride has been about the fullness of who we are, body and soul, with nothing left in the shadows. In more recent years, new colors have been added to represent the trans community and communities of color, expanding the flag's message of inclusion, justice, and deep belonging. The rainbow reminds us that beauty can emerge after the storm. It doesn't erase the cloud, it refracts light through them, breaking it open into something too beautiful to ignore. Maya Angelou once said, "You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. Try to be a rainbow in someone's cloud." In another speech, Angelou again evokes the idea of being a rainbow, saying, "I've had so many rainbows in my clouds. I had a lot of clouds, but I've had so many rainbows. And one of the things I do when I step up on a stage, I bring everyone who has ever been kind to me with me. Black, white, Asian, Spanish-speaking, Native American, gay, straight, everybody. I say, come with me. I'm bringing you all with me, so I don't ever feel I have no help, because I've had rainbows in my clouds." That, to me, is the spirit of Pride. Not just celebration, not just a protest, but a commitment to remember the rainbows we've been given, to become that light for someone else. So today we bring our colors, we bring our stories, we bring those who were kind to us, and we bring the strength to be kind in return. Come, let us worship together. Please stand as you are willing and able and join in singing Amazing Grace, number 205. Thank you.
bit more housekeeping, if I can, before we go further. Janet Raycroft and Bill Raycroft, are you here today too? Fair badges continue to tarnish up here, so if you could please hound them in some kind of gentle, kind way. So now is the time for sustaining our community.
This is the time that we share of our abundance, and we'd like to thank everybody who has brought donations of non-perishable items and placed them on the back table for the Sandalwood Food Pantry and Bluffton Self-Help. Their need is ongoing, their appreciation is ongoing also, so please remember them each Sunday. And now is the time that we will share of our abundance to support this beloved community and the work that it does beyond our walls. For our lovely guests today, please allow the basket to pass. Your presence with us today is our gift. Thank you so much for your generosity.
This is the time in the service where we share our joys and concerns. By sharing our joys, they are magnified, and by sharing our concerns, we gain the support of this loving community. If you have something to share, please come forward. Take a stone from the basket, tell us your name, and share your joy or concern, and then place the stone in the cairn. No announcements, please.
Hi, I'm Joanne Melosh, and I was very tempted to get up when Charlie was asking for visitors. It's been so long since I've been here, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
This past week, Bill Moyers at PBS passed, and Bill Moyers was something special. His office was right around the corner from my office. We'd often talk, and I took over the forward-looking dinner, which is like a pledge dinner here, and I needed a keynote speaker. I said to him, Bill, can you recommend anybody? He goes, it was a Friday, he goes, let me think about it, and I'll get back to you on Monday. I came back on Monday, and there was a book on my desk. It was an autobiography by Forrest Church, who was a fabulous minister, and it was autographed. And I called Forrest Church's office, and I got his secretary, and she called me back and said, yeah, he can come. And I got Forrest Church to come to our synagogue, to our dinner, to congregational dinner. Wow. And everybody was, I was the key guy now. Everybody thought me so well now. I was the man.
Anthony, I should have that whole basket in my hands. Where are you, Linda? I'm gonna embarrass you. Where are you? All right, my partner in crime when we built this building. This is Linda Nelson. She is back in town for at least the summer. We need to talk her into staying here forever again. She was my Batman and I was her Robin. And, you know, we were co-presidents. We cheated on the presidency. We shared it. And we did okay together. Building standing, I think. Anyway, love you. Thank you.
I'm Linda Nelson. It is a pleasure to be back. I was part of this congregation for 10 years, and I moved to Charlotte, and so I'm back in Ann Harrison's house. You all know her, right? And so I'm house sitting for her, so you know where I am. And I'll be here through August, and I'm so happy to be back. And my buddy and Anthony and I were like this for 2 years. So it's a pleasure to be back. Thank you.
I just want to say, I woke up this morning, I got dressed, and I went to look for my shoes that I was going to wear to match my dress, and I never see these shoes. I stole these shoes today with my shoes, and you know what I mean, ladies. And look what they are. I mean, everybody brags around here about their socks, you know. Like rainbow shoes.
Yeah.
Today. So I said, oh, rainbow, that's pretty, that'll match. And then I go, wait a minute, today's Gay Pride Month still, or June. And then I go, wait a minute, we're having a sermon today on gay pride and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, what are the odds of that? I think it was unconscious. It just blows me away sometimes how things happen. Love you guys.
Not bad. My name is Charlie Tyler. I'm here to fulfill a promise that I made to my cousin this morning. Some of you know that my first cousin, Judith's oldest son, passed away earlier this month to colon cancer. And I have been offering her some support and encouragement from my different professions that she has appreciated. And she wrote me today a number of things this morning. She sent me a text. And one of the things she asked me to do, and I promised that I would do this, is to tell you, the good people of this congregation, that God is good. That's the message. Whatever image of God you may have in your heart and your life, that God is good. And I wrote her back and said, I will promise to tell my people that statement. And I also wrote her back and said, I also promise to tell the people that you are good, you are very good, and you will make a difference. That's my promise fulfilled. Thank you.
I will place 2 stones in the cairn for the joys and concerns that remain in your hearts. And I will place 1 stone in the glass vase for all the people who have been, impacted by gun violence. Now, if you turn in your hymnal to affirmation number 502, we'll read that together. Now is the accepted time, not tomorrow, and not some more convenient season. It is today that our best work can be done, and not some future day or future year. It is today that we fit ourselves for the greater usefulness of tomorrow. Today is the seed time, now are the hours of work, and tomorrow comes the harvest and the playtime.
The allure of rainbows has captivated humanity across cultures and throughout the ages. Appearing like a phantom in the sky, they have sparked wonder and amazement among both ancient and modern civilizations alike. There's something almost magical about the sudden appearance of a rainbow, with its vibrant arc of colors stretching across the sky, transforming the mundane into the extraordinary. Their transient beauty, visible only under the right conditions and for just a brief moment, makes each sighting feel special, a rare and precious gift from the heavens. Rainbows evoke a sense of childlike awe and curiosity, prompting us to pause and appreciate the marvels of the natural world. Their unexpected emergence after a storm can bring a sense of calm and joy, a reminder that beauty can follow even the darkest of times. The fascination with rainbows is one that transcends boundaries, resonating with people of all ages and backgrounds. Whether seen as a sign of hope, a glimpse of paradise, or simply a beautiful natural phenomenon, rainbows have an enduring ability to captivate our hearts and minds. Throughout history, rainbows have been a source of inspiration for artists, poets, and dreamers. The British poet Lord Byron eloquently expressed the comforting and hopeful nature of rainbows in his writing, "Be thou the rainbow in the storms of life, the evening beam that smiles the clouds away and tints tomorrow with prophetic ray." And the great American poet Langston Hughes reminded us that rainbows don't appear without hardship. In a prayerful plea, he wrote, "O God of dust and rainbows, help us to see that without the dust, the rainbow would not be." And with her trademark blend of humor and grit, Dolly Parton once said, "The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain." Across diverse cultures and belief systems, rainbows hold profound symbolic meaning, reflecting humanity's spiritual aspirations and connection to the natural world. For Tibetan Buddhists, the rainbow isn't just a natural phenomenon, it's a manifestation of divine presence, a whisper from enlightened beings. In the Tibetan Buddhist perspective, the rainbow or body of light is a shimmering symbol of wisdom and compassion entwined. Turning our attention to the lands of the Maori, we discover Teferi Matea, a deity whose tears form the vivid ribbons of color that arch across the heavens. These rainbows, born of emotion and divine influence, serve as protective guides, lighting the way for travelers and affirming our ties to the spiritual realm. For the Cherokee people, each rainbow carries a sacred message, a reminder of our place within the cosmic dance of creation. According to Cherokee tradition, rainbows are more than a mere phenomenon. They are the footprints of the Great Spirit, guiding us along the path of life. Similarly, in Greek mythology, we encounter Iris, the divine messenger who travels upon a vibrant arc across the sky to carry messages from the gods to humanity. Her rainbow hues symbolize divine communication, acting as a bridge between mortals and the celestial realms, offering glimpses into the mysteries of the divine order. Across these diverse cultures and mythologies, the rainbow emerges as a universal symbol, transcending boundaries of time and place. It speaks to our collective longing for connection, transcendence, and harmony with the cosmic symphony. Their presence in our myths and folklore underscores a profound truth, that no matter our differences, the beauty of a rainbow resonates within us all, reminding us of our shared humanity and our collective longing for connection and understanding. Indeed, rainbows are far more than a colorful display. They are a shared symbol, a common thread that links diverse traditions and worldviews. Given the ubiquity of rainbows as a shared symbol across cultures, I find it puzzling that anyone would respond to the sight of a rainbow, whether in its natural form or an artistic representation thereof, with anything but awe and wonder. But sadly, there are some people who are absolutely triggered by the sight of a rainbow. Take a moment to allow yourself to process the absurdity of this. They are not offended by the colors red, orange, yellow, green, blue, or violet on their own, but when placed side by side in that order, these 6 colors have the potential to cause some people in our society to immediately clutch their pearls and lose their minds. Last year, I preached a pride-themed sermon at the Unitarian Church in Charleston, the congregation where I'm a member. Before I left for church that morning, I took a photo of myself, proudly displaying my rainbow tie and socks. I posted the photo to Facebook and went to church, where we had an amazing and uplifting service. After the service ended, I checked my Facebook notifications and saw a comment from a friend I hadn't heard from in a while. She had shown my photo to her pastor, a pastor I had previously worked for, and the pastor had asked her to comment on her behalf. The message she relayed was this: "Sister Judy says she hopes you know better. It's just so sad to see how far you've fallen." There was so much I wanted to say in response. I wanted to ask if she was really that bothered by my colorful tie and socks, or is Sister Judy's real issue that my rainbow apparel is a reminder of the failure of her so-called spiritual discernment 20 years ago, when she cluelessly placed a closeted but still very gay preacher in her pulpit and in charge of her youth group. But instead, I responded, "I am sorry that you were triggered by refracted light. But I am having too wonderful a day to be brought down by unsolicited and unwanted judgment. Happy Pride, rainbow emoji, pride flag emoji." Even more baffling than the idea that people actually take offense to a spectrum of color is the belief that, held by some, that they alone have the right to decide what a rainbow symbolizes. That they're the only ones who can say what it means. That they hold exclusive ownership over its message. That it belongs to them and only them. I recently came across the Reclaim the Rainbow movement. Groups like the Ezra Institute, who argue with full-throated confidence that the rainbow must be taken back from the LGBTQ community. They say we've twisted it, misused it, stolen something sacred from them. Long before I read these ridiculous ideas from the internet, from groups like the Ezra Institute, I encountered them firsthand. Back in 2009, I attended the National Equality March in Washington, D.C. Thousands of people gathered to demand dignity, rights, and recognition. To say in one collective voice, we deserve to be seen. And as the rally came to an end, a rainbow appeared in the sky. A full arc, vivid, brilliant, undeniable. I snapped a photo and posted it online, marveling at the timing. It felt holy, like heaven itself was showing up in support. But within minutes of posting the photo, someone chimed in, commenting that this is not what the rainbow symbolizes. "It is God's promise to never destroy the earth by water again," she barked at me in all capital letters. As if that settled it. As if the rainbow could only ever mean one thing. As if she and her church had the final word on what God's promises look like. But here's the truth. Rainbows are refracted light. We learned this in 4th grade. Light enters a raindrop, which acts as a prism and refracts the light, separating it into its component colors. I do not deny that the rainbow is a meaningful symbol to Christians, both real Christians and bigots who wear the label Christian. But ultimately, it is refracted light. Any meaning we attribute to it as a symbol is entirely in the eye of the beholder. You don't get to have a monopoly on refracted light, nor do you have the right to dictate what it means to me. Rainbows belong to no one and to everyone simultaneously. They are a universal gift, a shared symbol open to myriad interpretations. We can find in them whatever meaning speaks to us, from divine presence to the promise of hope. And if I am deciding what the rainbow means to me, and to be clear, I do get to decide this for myself. If given the choice between the traditional religious meaning or a symbol of LGBTQ pride, it's not a hard choice. I don't find much comfort in the rainbow's meaning as depicted in the Old Testament, where God in his infinite wisdom becomes so exasperated with his own creation that he decides to drown the entire planet. Because nothing says I love you like a global deluge. But wait, it gets better. After wiping out nearly all life, God then offers a promise. Not a promise to refrain from mass murder altogether, but just not to use a flood next time. It's like a somewhat remorseful loan shark telling his victim, if you're late on a payment, I promise I won't hit you with a baseball bat again. I'll still break your legs, but with a different weapon. I promise. And to seal that comforting promise, a rainbow. So every time we see those beautiful colors in the sky, we can take comfort in knowing that if God ever loses his patience with his creation again, he will choose a non-aquatic means of mass murder. Heartwarming. Call me a bleeding heart, but I prefer deities who do not commit mass murder. And I prefer to see the rainbow as a symbol of love, unity, and acceptance. Because if we're going to take something meaningful from that ancient story, let it be this. Not the violence, but the aftermath. Not the flood, but what comes after. A rainbow cast across the sky, not as a reminder of wrath, but of restraint. Not as a warning, but maybe a confession, a cosmic pause, a divine moment of rethinking. To me, the rainbow represents a turning point, not just in that story, but in every story where we decide to stop the cycle of destruction and start building something new. It's what happens when the storm passes and we resolve to be better. It's a visual reminder that even after devastation, beauty is still possible, that healing can follow harm, that diversity isn't something to fear, but something to celebrate. So yes, I'll take my rainbow with all the colors, with all the people, with all the hope and love and radical welcome it represents. Not because someone told me that's what it means, but because I've seen what it means. I've seen it in marches and protests, in pride flags waving above churches and homes. That's what I saw in the sky that day in DC. To me, the rainbow doesn't say, I promise not to destroy you. It says, you belong. In the final chapter of her autobiography, entitled Dust Tracks on a Road, Zora Neale Hurston reflects on her life's journey, writing, well, that is the way things stand up to now. I can look back and see sharp shadows, highlights, and smudgy in-betweens. I have been in sorrow's kitchen and licked out all the pots. Then I have stood on the peaky mountain, wrapped in rainbows. As Hurston looks back over her life's journey, she masterfully contrasts the hardships and triumphs she's experienced. She has been in the heat of life's kitchen, where she watched as sorrow combined the ingredients of life's circumstances into a dish. Despite its bitterness, she says she has licked out the pots, thoroughly enduring and savoring all the sorrows life has to offer, down to the very last bit. Hurston has done more than just survive hardship. She has consumed and processed her suffering. Then, nourished by the sustenance of sorrow, she climbs to the peak of the mountain where she stands wrapped in rainbows. When I read these words, I cannot help but think of my own coming out experience. For me, coming out was not a spontaneous decision, but one that was thoughtfully planned over the course of almost a year. In addition to the typical challenges associated with coming out, concerns about the reactions of family and friends, I was faced with the reality that coming out meant losing my family, my home, and my career, which was the only means I had at the time of supporting my family. So I set a coming out date and began to make preparations, financial and otherwise. As the date approached, I began looking for work. Other than preaching, the only work experience I had was being a Walmart cashier and a server at Shoney's. Living in Charleston, a tourist city, I opted to pursue work in the food and beverage industry. But I quickly learned that the 6 months I had waited tables at Shoney's in high school did not qualify me to serve in most downtown Charleston restaurants. I had 2 interviews. My first interview was at a fine dining restaurant in downtown Charleston. They took one look at my resume and kindly let me know that I was not ready for fine dining. I felt a little better about my second interview at Vickery's, a trendy downtown restaurant where I'd eaten many times. During the interview, the assistant manager took one look at my resume and asked why a Pentecostal preacher wanted to wait tables. I explained that I was resigning my church and hoped to find work as a server until I finished my degree. With a concerned look in her eyes, she said to me, "To be honest, I'm not sure you'll fit in here. We have a lot of customers who live alternative lifestyles." Realizing that I was about to blow this interview, I crossed my legs in the gayest way possible and said to her, "The reason I am leaving the ministry is I have no problem with the alternative lifestyle." She abruptly excused herself, and when she returned, she asked when I could start. I learned later that she had rushed upstairs to tell the general manager that she was interviewing a gay Pentecostal preacher who's coming out of the closet. He responded, "That is so Vickery's, you have to hire him." I started work there the next morning, I started work there the morning after I resigned my church and officially came out. The next evening, some of the other gay servers invited me to go to Club Pantheon for the Friday night drag show. After the show, when the stage was open for drunken dancing to techno music, I slowly began to realize something. Not only were the other gay servers dancing around me, but the straight servers, both male and female, as well as the general manager and both assistant managers, the bussers, a dishwasher, and a cook. They were all on the dance floor with us. Was it the custom for the entire crew of Victories to dance at a gay club to bad techno music on Friday nights? No, it was not. But they saw what that night meant. They saw a man who had spent years in sorrow's kitchen, who had licked out every pot, who had tasted the bitterness served up by a church and society that told him to experience God's love, he had to deny love to himself. And yet, by swallowing every bitter bite, he had grown strong. They saw someone who by that strength had climbed his own mountain, not untouched by sorrow, but transformed by it. And they were there. They saw where I stood, and they showed up to bear witness, to celebrate, to baptize me in love and acceptance. They were there to wrap me in rainbows. Thank you. In the Maya Angelou quote I read earlier, after Angelou talks about the rainbows in her clouds, she goes on to say, "I've had rainbows in my clouds, and the thing to do, it seems to me, is prepare yourself so you can be a rainbow in somebody else's cloud, somebody who might not look like you, may not call God the same name you call God, if they call God at all. You see, I may not dance your dances or speak your language, but be a blessing to somebody. That's what I think. My coworkers that night were a rainbow in my cloud, and it is my prayer that I can be a rainbow to someone else in need. A rainbow with its vibrant arc bridging the sky symbolizes connection, unity, and the promise of better days. It is a bridge not just between sun and rain, but between hearts and spirits. It reminds us that after every storm, there's potential for beauty and renewal. This bridge of colors can serve as a powerful metaphor for our lives. We are called to bridge divides, to connect with those who are different from us, and to bring together disparate parts of our communities in harmony. In our lives, we will encounter those who are navigating their own storms, those who need a sign of hope, a gesture of kindness, or simply the presence of someone who cares. To be a rainbow is to offer this to them. It means being a bridge of compassion, understanding, and support. It means being a source of color and light in their darkest moments. For the teenage boy who is relentlessly bullied because his flair cannot be confined to the walls of a closet, be a rainbow by offering him a kind word, a shoulder to cry on, or a place to feel safe. For the individual coming out later in life, learning to navigate the dating world, perhaps for the first time in decades, courageously coming out to their children or even grandchildren, be a rainbow by celebrating their truth, listening to their experiences, and helping them navigate changes in their relationship and community. For the transgender person who, in addition to navigating the complexities of transitioning, faces rejection by family members and abuse from a society that has thrust them in the middle of a culture war. Be a rainbow by using their correct pronouns and speaking up when you witness anti-trans bigotry, whether it's from a schoolyard bully, a coworker, or a member of Congress. For the parent of a gay or transgender child who doesn't understand what their child is feeling or experiencing, but that does not diminish the love they have or the instinct to protect their child from a cruel world. Be a rainbow by offering a listening ear, resources for education, and a community of support. For the LGBTQ person who has been rejected by their faith community, be a rainbow by letting them know that not every place of worship is a house of hate. Be a rainbow by supporting this congregation and keeping these doors open, so there will always be an open and affirming place of worship in Bluffton, South Carolina, a place where the LGBTQ community can stand on the peaky mountain wrapped in rainbows. In every interaction, with every word and action, we have the power to be that vibrant arc bridging the skies of those around us. Let us be the bridge that connects and heals, the arc that brings joy and reassurance. Whether through a kind word, a helping hand, or a gesture of solidarity, let us strive to be the rainbows in the clouds of others. In doing so, we honor the rich tapestry of cultural meanings that rainbows hold and the universal longing for connection they represent. They become part of a greater story of human resilience and hope. So as we leave here today, let us carry with us the resolve to be a rainbow and to build bridges that bring light and love to all we encounter. Amen, and may it be so.
Arise, arise, I see the future in your eyes. To a more perfect union we aspire, and lift our voices from the fire. Atlantic and Pacific flow, the Great Lakes and the Gulf of Mexico. The land between sustains us all, to cherish it our tireless call. Arise, arise, I see the future in your eyes. To a more perfect union we aspire, and lift our voices from the fire. We reached these shores from many lands. We came with hungry hearts and hands. Some came by force and some by will, at the auction block or the darkened mill. Arise, arise, I see the future in your eyes. To a more perfect union we aspire, and lift our voices from the fire. We died in your fields and your factories, strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees, with an old coat hanger in a room somewhere, a trail of tears, an electric chair. Arise, arise, I see the future in your eyes. To a more perfect union we aspire, and lift our voices from the fire. Our great responsibility is to be guardians of our liberty, till tyrants fall in the people's dream, and justice flows like a mighty stream. Arise, arise, I see the future in your eyes. To a more perfect union we aspire, and lift our voices from the fire. Arise, arise, I see the future in your eyes. To a more perfect union we aspire, and lift our voices from the fire. Whew.
poignant note on this service today for your heart and for your voice and for the way that you bring your heart to this place. Clint, you are our rainbow here. Thank you so much for encouraging us to be rainbows in our own world, for giving us a message and a mission at the same time. Your heart here is big, and we love that part of you. I want to remind you that there's a talk back that we'll be gathering back here for at about 11:15, that we might be able to share some time with Clint and hear some further insights from him. And so I would encourage you to stay for that, because I think it's really quite a remarkable thing that we're able to do. And so if you would please, Clint, I'm going to ask you to bring your final remarks here today, this morning.
As we leave this space, may we carry with us the colors of courage and compassion, the hues of healing and hope. May we remember that rainbows have appeared in our clouds, and strive to become the light in someone else's sky. Go boldly, go lovingly, go honestly, knowing that you are worthy, radiant, and you are not alone. Let your life be a spectrum of truth and tenderness, a reflection of love in all its brilliant forms. Go in peace, go in pride, go wrapped in rainbows. Amen.
Please stand if you're willing and able, and join with me in extinguishing the chalice. While we extinguish this flame, we still carry in our hearts the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment until we are together again.
I'm not
when she was at the meeting, she was physically accosted by a Democrat. I don't know. She didn't say a name.
And what is the outcome?
I was wondering if you were there. And
I was there. You spoke at the Democratic Club.
well, she was terrified, physically accosted.
I didn't know that. I will ask. I will try to find out what the hell that
And what needs to be done about it? If this guy is a member. Yeah.
I will get